Almost 10,000 manatees live in Florida, according to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, but still face multiple threats from algal blooms to boating incidents. They are currently protected under the Endangered Species Act.
So today we were working with our orphaned calf who came in a few days ago. So she was found alone, separated from mom. We don't know why she was separated, but she was in need of our care.
Manatees are solitary animals, but they do have an incredible bond with their calves. So a manatee calf should be with its mom for at least the first year of its life and up to 2 years. So an animal that is found that's really small, especially under 100 pounds, that's an animal that should be really close to mom, drinking and still nursing from her. We take in quite a few manatees every single year, and unfortunately the manatee is still facing a lot of perils out in the wild.
Looking for a nose popping up, maybe a back or tail, maybe some bubbles coming from the manatee.
We're basically swimming in the manatee's house. You know, we're in their bedroom, their bathroom, their living room. So we want to be completely respectful of them. So mainly, you know, no kicking. We're not gonna circle a manatee. We're not corralling a manatee. We saw a big lady. So she was definitely pregnant. Gestation is 13 months.
Buddy Powell has been working decades to help preserve endangered species like the manatee. Recently, he's been looking to unusual mortality events, or UMEs, that manatees have faced in recent years. In 2021, over 1,000 manatees died in a UME due to starvation, according to Save the Manatee.
Their common ancestor, which most people don't know, are elephants. And so I think what happens too is, now putting my conservationist hat on, is they're so gentle. And they're here, you know, they practically become urban because you can go right out of here in a canal and see them easily, that in touch with wildness. You don't have to go to Africa to see an elephant. You can see a relative an elephant in your backyard if you're here in Florida, for example.
Whether it's boat strikes, habitat loss, cold stress.
Algal blooms spell trouble for manatees as well, cutting off their food supply when the blooms block sunlight for seagrasses to grow.
But that bigger, more complex issue is water quality and what's happening to water quality around the state of Florida. It could be that this is the tip of the iceberg, because as seagrass disappears and manatees starve as a consequence, all those other animals that are dependent on the seagrasses are dying too. It's not as simple as slowing boats down. And so I tell people that, you know, in this case when manatees were dying or are dying over on the East Coast, they're like the canary in the coal mine. But in reality, it's kind of two ways. They're the canary in the coal mine, but the miners are already dead, because by the time the manatees are dying, the seagrass is dead and all the other animals that are dependent on those seagrasses are dead too. Wild animals, you know, they can't just go to a hospital, they can't just go to a veterinarian. And so if something happens to them, and unfortunately with manatees, like some other wild animals too, many of their causes of injury and very often deaths are human caused. It's on us.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this video, check out these other videos from USA Today to stay up to date with all the latest news.